Hello, this is Ebony Phoenix here. How are you, ladies? And Happy New Year. All right, we have made it into 2022, and I am going to do a presentation for you that I've prepared. And You see the title on the screen, Black Girl Magic Mass Delusion. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I, I I have a very difficult time because I've been divested for so long. I have a really difficult time understanding how we got here, how Black women and Black girls have just lost a sense of self-preservation. And as I've said before in another video, this is like being in an occult, and getting out of it is going to take a little bit of programming. So as you can see, this is how I feel about it. My lovely quote. And so take heed of that. So let's get going here. The way things are. Okay, we know it's a mess. The state of affairs in the Black community or the Black collective or the Black demographic is a mess. And you can say that about the United States as well as the diaspora. So let's look at the United States for a minute here, and we're going to go Black by the numbers. And folks, numbers matter. So let's talk about the U.S. economy as a whole and our place in it. As you can see, Black workers face a statistically significant representation, participation, and pay gaps when compared to white people or the dominant society. The median annual Black worker wage is usually around 30% lower than white workers, and Black people make up almost 13% of the U.S. labor force, but only earn 9.6% of the total wages of the GDP. Now, when you look at where we are and what could be, there's an estimated 220 billions with a B annual disparity between Black wages today and what would represent full parity with that of the dominant society. And nearly 85% of the disparity is concentrated in the following sectors: professional services, manufacturing, construction, trade, transportation, financial services, and utilities. Almost half of all the Black workers are concentrated in healthcare, retail, accommodations, and food service. And these jobs are the lowest paying service roles. Very few are professional or managerial. Those are not held by Black people as a whole. And the median wage for all U.S. workers is about $42,000, but 43% of Black people in the workforce earn less than $30,000 a year. So, what does that tell you? Do we all want fries with these numbers? I think not. Now, here's the difference. Black women are slowly moving into leadership roles, but we're doing it slowly and precariously. Why? Well, there's a lot of reasons, a lot of personal reasons, but I think in general, we can say lack of efficient and profitable networks. You know, it's one thing to have a whole bunch of people in your network, but if those people in your network cannot get you anywhere, that's not very helpful to you in terms of your advancement. Lack of mentors. Really, that's pretty obvious, right? Lower educational attainment. But Black women have really been making gains in these areas. Now, it doesn't matter how much education or status you have achieved if you have family issues and issues with the men in your lives. Your men in your life is just not, they're not very supportive. And let's talk about the lack of support. There's very little community support for Black women that's substantial, and the men in their lives usually are not supportive. Um, and this is where hypergamy and hypogamy come into being. Most demographic groups of women are taught to be hypergamous, right? And that's good for the woman, and it's actually good for society as a whole, and it's good for communities. But for some reason, and we will get into that, uh, African American girls are taught that hypogamy, marrying down, is best, so that you can capture yourself a nice, good Black man. Hypergamy, in contrast, is basically marrying someone who can basically improve your position. Okay, improve your life, improve your position with support. Now, being with, let's say, a drug dealer who has a whole bunch of money illegally, you could be collateral damage at any time. It doesn't matter if you're driving a Porsche. Okay, so as I said before, y'all want fries with that. Can you see my name tag? Ebony Phoenix. She's here. Okay. Next. Now, the statistics are grim, but Black men are far behind us, and there are no catching up plans being made. So these guys are eating our dust and breathing our smoke and choking on our fumes, and they are not happy about it. And so this is why the recent calls for your submission to them have become violent, loud, and clear. Uh, so let's just look at this. A lot of them are in and out of jail. A lot of them need a soft spot to land on, and that would be on your head, honey. All right? You got to give him money. You got to give him a place to stay. He's got to use your car. I've seen women fill out job applications for them, FAFSA applications for them, college applications for them. It's like, come on, really? No. So I want to let you know where this data came from. This is the most recent data that I found that was easily accessible. And basically, this is from the McKinsey Global Institute report, The Economic State of Black America. And this is from June 17th of this year, 2021. So, since June 17th, 2021 was last year, and we are right here in January of 2022, that's pretty recent data. So the fellas are far behind. Everyone can see that. Everyone can see the effects of that. So what are you going to do with a whole bunch of girls in a community that want to better themselves in some kind of way, and a whole bunch of guys who don't and don't care? Well, really, the way things are set up, they don't have to care. They've got their soft place to land, and that's you, baby girl. Yeah. So a system of indoctrination and reinforcement has been created, well crafted, okay, using the Bible, collective community pressure, propaganda, and rape culture. All right, we got that, right? Those are the building blocks here. The messages can be subtle, overt, profane, and garish, but they are very clear. Stay put in the place prepared for you, Black girl, Black woman. And that place is never in front of a Black man, no matter who he is or what he is. Now, understand that this place, or this state of mind really, has been carefully crafted for your misery, depression, and early demise. Ooh, they got that tight, right? Nothing else is tight in the community, but they got this tight, okay? So, I've created a Black girl creed. I promise to respect, protect, consider, and please the Black man in all I think and do. I am not to expect protection, comfort, provision, respect, or consideration in return. I am to ignore all my needs to meet his needs. Because, racism. My life is tied to him. because, racism. If he arrives, I arrive too. That is wrong because racism. I am to sacrifice all for him. I am to be patient with him no matter the circumstances. If a black man decides to choose me, I's married now. I am to submit to him and be dutiful. He doesn't owe me fidelity, but I owe him fealty and fidelity for as long as he wants me. Hypergamy is against my nature as a black female because I was born into this God-ordained lowly state of being. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people have silently uh, taken this creed on before they hit kindergarten. No justice, no peace, right, ladies? No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Okay. So the culprits, the tools of this mass delusion that we were talking about here. Well, number one, in first place, ladies and gentlemen, the black church. The black church is sort of philosophy, it's sort of culture, sort of doctrine, all mixed together in a big old mess, right? The denomination is irrelevant, okay? It doesn't matter. If you go to a predominantly black church, this is what you're going to be facing or have faced. Now, the black church uses biblical misogyny and cultural misogyny uh, to spread the message. Girl, you ain't nothing. Okay. And in doing so, these girls become male identified because, you know, men are made in his image, right? And since Adam was made in his image and Adam was the first man, aka a dude, there you go. Now, all the girls are low-lifed and dirty because Eve ate from a tree and conspired with a snake. Okay. You know what? The delusion is real. Okay. So being a godly, submissive, heaven-bound female requires conformity and uniformity. Don't you get out of line by having some kind of ambition, a sexual appetite, and wanting a piece of your life for yourself. Who do you think you are? You ought to know your place. You need to be in a woman's place, right? Piss off. Now, black men enlist women soldiers to do the dirty work. The grandma in the church, some people on the deacon board or whatever. There's lots of little worker bees buzzing around, right? The black community shames, reprimands girls who get out of their place and think highly of themselves. I was once told by a relative, well, you're too cocky to be a woman. You need to put yourself in a woman's place. And I just said, my place is where I put me. Thug life. Let's talk about thug life. Ignorance is better, if not bliss. You won't need books in heaven anyway, right? There's this large strain of anti-intellectualism that's been going around for a long time. So you just got to be down for the black man's cause. Be stupid of the world around you, and be stupid of yourself and what your wants and needs are. Rape culture. Okay, this is a biggie. And rape culture is upheld all in the church also. So don't forget this. All right. Girls should always care about the well-being of their sexual assault perpetrators. You care about the predator, not yourself and what you need. Um, and you can't tell anybody, because you may get the blame heaped on your head. I don't care how old you are. Um, Remember, in the black community, girls are fast anyway. You shouldn't be seducing a man to do such a thing to you. Thoughts have no rights, boo. No rights at all. And you shouldn't, because you're a thought. I didn't know what a thought was until someone actually defined it for me. It means that hoe over there. What the heck? See how much they esteem you, ladies? So let's talk about the low self-esteem Olympics. So this is also a tactic. This is also a tool. The culprits of this mass delusion. They're derogatory statements that every black boy learns. Now, not all of them, of course, believe this, but they believe some, a lot of them believe some of them, if not all of them. And it's just a justification for putting you in your place, right? Right, yeah. Yeah, you're too black, hair's too nappy, you wear a weave, you're fat, all other female groups are more attractive than you. Now, other female groups, of course, are fat and they wear hair extensions. Big deal. Oh, your vagina smells bad. Now, if somebody wants to be snipping around your vagina and they don't even know you, you know that's a creeper anyway. But this is what they put out about you. You're ugly. You're not feminine or submissive enough. You got bad attitude. You're a dumb bitch and a liar. In other words, you are worthless. Now, black men require everyone to rehab and save their image. I mean, everyone. I'm talking the dominant society, especially black women. You gotta all step in line and see that we're victims here. They're victims. They're victims because white supremacy. Now, forget the fact that white supremacy affects us. Forget about that part. But the cops. See, this is why they control black music, black entertainment, black media, and they try to keep women from making any types of real decisions. And the women in these areas usually do their bidding anyway, without questioning them. And if you question them, then you are met with hostility. So you got it? So now, there are always new girl soldiers with lowest self-esteem in the world to fight the black man's battles. Yay for them! Now, if you want no part of this shitstorm, divest and invest in yourself and just wake up.